Disclaimer. Hey everyone, just a quick heads up before we get started. I want to let you know I'm completely transparent. This channel shares my personal trading journey and insights, including discussions of significant gains. Please remember, past performance is not a guarantee of future success, and all trading involves substantial risk. This content is for informational and entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Please always do your own research and consult with a professional financial advisor before making any trading decisions. I am not responsible for any actions taken based on the information provided in this video. Use this information at your own risk. This is the $8 challenge. Thanks so much for coming by. Today is episode 9, and I am happy to say the account is up 6%. Just to base it, nothing crazy, but I'm very happy about it. You know, the market did not have a whole lot of opportunity, and days like this is very easy to get caught up in the chop and actually have a big red day. So, you know, happy with how the day went overall. These were all same day till expire, all the same contract, 456 calls. And trade 1 plus 25, break even, and the last trade plus 12%. So nothing too crazy, but you know, either way, very grateful for green. Locking in profits is so important, and I just did not give these any chance to go red. So as soon as I was in the green, I was ready to lock in profits. Please leave a like down below. I greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the algorithm. And if you're new here, please subscribe if you enjoy it. Here we go, diving in, looking at the 15-minute chart, and you can just see kind of how today played out. We had another gap up pre-market, which is basically exactly how Friday played out. Just a gap up followed by, you know, a little morning spike before it opened and just chop. So, you know, we are basically range bound right now, and the market is trying to decide if we're going to continue with 52-week highs and possibly all-time highs, because we are really teetering on that level. Or are we going to trade sideways for a while and then, come back down and retest these levels down here? I don't know, but hopefully we get some big moves soon, because these choppy days are just a little bit boring, and there's just not as much opportunity. So, be very careful when you're trading these choppy days. You want to watch for a lot of volume, 54 million volume today. That is very low. 100 million is like a good volume day. Where there's some good price action, and anything above that, you'll see more volatility. But obviously, there's a lot of factors that play into that, whether it's market news or anything like that. But, just to give you kind of a general idea, 54 is kind of a low day. Actually, it's a very low day. I think average is probably between 70 and 100. You can double check and look that up, but that is something you want to keep your eye on. If it is a choppy day, just take a look at the volume and see what it did for that day. And you'll kind of start to notice, big days like back here on the 15th or the 18th right here, this is probably a much higher volume day. So just something to keep your eye on. But anyways, let's zoom on in here to the 1-minute chart, wrap this video up, and you can see trade number 1. I got in at 10:13. I held this for 6 minutes and actually timed this out really well. I kind of waited a little bit this morning for the market to play out. I was kind of hoping for a good trend to come. And once I saw us bounce here and we built support, I was thinking we're going to come back up here and retest this level, which is exactly what happened. So, that's a play you can kind of watch for, or just a pattern you might want to keep your eye out for. This is something that's worked very well for me. You'll see it come up, hit resistance, come back down, and bounce off support, and just keep your eye on it really close and just kind of watch for that move to finally, get to that point where it's like, oh, it looks like it's really going to pop. And, you get that FOMO feeling deep in your gut, just boom, pull that trigger. So anyways, held that for 6 minutes, nothing crazy, just 25% gain. But had I had a larger contract, it would have been better. So that was at the point where I was looking at the 455s, and I think they're around $20, and they actually ripped to like 35, and I think peaked at 40 for the day. But again, they expired worthless. So that's why it's important to get in and out as soon as possible. And if the trend's not going your way, cut losses quick. That trend is your friend. And days like this, when it's choppy and sideways, theta will eat your contract alive. That 455 call was only really good right here. And then after that, it just dropped in value. So just be careful. But anyways, going on to trade number 2. I got in at 11.52, out at 11.56. This was that break-even trade. I waited for support, bounced right here, and I was really looking for that break over 454.75, and that was based off of Friday's levels, how they kind of played out. I was looking for that break over this level right here, Friday pre-market, I guess, all the way back there. But I was looking for the break over there, and then kind of the move to re-up to retest this level towards 456, and you can see these highs on the hour chart above my head. But anyways, going back to the trades over here, so trade number 3, last one of the day. I had a little bit of FOMO, of course. I sold that one break even. I kind of watched it bounce a little bit, and I actually was very happy I sold it. It was worth, the very small 11 cents in fees to save myself that little bit of stress, because it actually went from 8 down to 7. So I would have been red just a little bit. But, hey, I avoided that situation, got back in here, and then took profits pretty quick. The last trade was 3 minutes. Saw that resistance hitting right there, and I was like, I'm just going to take my money and run. It was also coming into the lunch hour, so I was like, if I don't see a big move soon, then I'm just not going to trade for the day. So really did not get that opportunity. There's kind of a nice move here you could capitalize on. But really I was looking for the break out of this range. So in my opinion, and what works best for me, is just sitting back, being patient, and waiting for those right setups. There's been too many days like this where I've tried to push it and wait and try to have a big win, when in reality that's just not the plan for the market that day. The best thing to do is just wait for a day when the market is just moving, and you'll see opportunity after opportunity, and it'll feel like you can, basically buy a call or a put at any time in the day, and it will just go green instantly. So, when there's opportunities in the market, just strike while the iron's hot. That's the time to go heavy. That's the time to hold long. And, but until then, these base hits add up, and I'm just very happy about it. So moving on, before I talk any longer, here it is, up 6%. So nothing crazy, but 6% today was actually up 25% in total account value from the start. So really happy to see that continue to grow, up 435% since July 7th, I think this started. So really cool to see the power of compounding gains, even these small days. But yeah, that's all I have for the day. If you have any questions, I'm happy to help. Leave them down below, and I hope you stay happy and healthy. I'll see you tomorrow.